Alright, what we got here is a, not necessarily a preppers, but a person getting ready for ice storms and power outages in the Great Northwest Oregon area. So what I've done is I got a hold of one of these big old 100 amp hour batteries. I'm not sure where you can see it. It's a couple $100. Got an old style amp meter on there. It's charging about 25 amps, and that's my battery charger. I think it's worth about 30 amps. I got wires going out the cat door to the generator, which you can hear. And right now on the one side, this is about what it's pulling. Looks about 2 amps and probably about 200 watts. And what that's running is well, the battery charger, but it's also running the infrastructure, which is the dish network, various different routers, a modem, another router. Oh, that's a switch, not a router, I'm sorry. And my computer system, and a light, and of course a laptop. And also it is running, walk out here, might be kind of hard to see, but got a extension cord there, got the refrigerator plugged into it, and it quit running, or it reached its temperature. It was running a little while more. And also I've got another one out here that is there it is. The big old mass of wires that covers a bunch of security cameras. Let's see here. The other thing that's not hooked up yet is what's this doing here? Is the battery backup and access point, and another switch, and more cameras, another switch, another camera that needs to be hooked up, but it's rather extensive here. Let me get my shoes on, and I'll go outside and show you what's going on out there. Okay. You can see the tracks I made with the dolly. That sucker's heavy. That's well over 200 pounds, especially filled with 5 gallons of gas. Anyhow, so what I'm going to be doing with all of this is going to be putting it on a board. I've got 2 more meters coming. Oh, that one's not. Oh, come on. Let's see here. Yeah, here we go. A couple more of those. That's for my ham radio. But anyhow, that's rather low amperage one. I don't know what the limit is, but I need to know. One of them I think about 200 amps, another one maybe 100, and that'll be the DC, monitoring the DC in and out, whether it's being charged or not. And it's charging about 25 amps, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. I don't know how accurate that meter is. I should only be charging that about 20 amps according to the instructions. And the voltage on that, I'm trying for about 13.5. I don't know if I want to go 13. Oh, what do you know? Battery just died on that. Or did it? No, it didn't die. It just shut itself off. So when I start putting this thing together, all of this mass of wires is going to be neatly contained on a board. I'm waiting for some stuff from Amazon and clean all of this up and maybe give you a better idea. Why does it do that? I have the battery charger set on AGM rather than lead acid. This is a gel battery, but it looks like what it's doing is it charges it for a little while, and it stops and takes a look to see what it's doing, and it charges it some more. I think something happens about 12.8 volts. It gets a little sketchy, but probably all part of the plan. And research as much as I can on how to charge these batteries, and I don't think you really want to go over 20 amps, but it should take about 5 hours to recharge it at that. But as you can see, this thing like hangs around 5 or 10 amps for a while every few minutes, and I don't know what that's going to do to the charge time, but we'll see here. And I just love the way these Chinese machines, the numbers never match. That's Edecoa 1000 watt, and for what I'm running here, basically on a power outage would be that laptop and that infrastructure up there, and that'd be it. And the rest of this, the big system, I'd only run that while the battery's charged, and you got 4 or 5 hours a day, or I would assume, but we'll see. I'll get back to you as I start putting this thing together, and all of the headaches that are going to accomplish or are going to come with that. Well, here it is. I think it's kind of finally done. I need to put some switches in here. I've got a couple of alligator clips to turn the meters on and off. I'll put a switch in there eventually. Anyhow, it's 1000 watt, and it's ready for the next power outage. Now, what I've got down here is a 100 amp hour Wise battery. It's about 200 bucks, and a couple of these drop gauges. Those are the shunts for the current, and you can basically see how I've got it wired. The negatives are where all the shunts go, and there's the positive. Got positive going from the battery to the inverter, and then we've also got a positive to a clamping point here, and negative right there, positive there, and also some positive and negative power to the meters. Yeah, these are the meters. Now, right now I'm pulling about 26 amps and about 323 watts of power, and that's running, well, that little lamp down there, but also this entire computer system. Not all that stuff up there. That's modem, switch, router, another switch, and a dish receiver, and Wi-Fi. So that's taken care of by that guy right there. And it should run about 20 hours on 1500 amp hours battery. The other one is down there. That's a 750 APC power supply. They're both APCs, but in any case. So right now it's at oh, it's getting low. I got it shut off at 11.5, I think, is what my cutoff is on the gauge down here. Might be a little low, but I did want to get this video done, so I'll go ahead. The next part of the video involves the generator setup that will charge this, and I've got a 30 amp shoemaker. I believe so. Anyhow, don't need more than 30 amps for this battery, so we'll shut this down, and I'll go ahead and pull the power cords in from the generator and hook all that up. As you can see, it's dark out, so I'll be doing that tomorrow. So that'll be the next spot. And this is the Prepper's home reserve electricity supply. Should be good for about 12 hours or so of power for small stuff. And when we throw a charge on the battery, then we'll also run the extension cord to a freezer and refrigerator and cool those down. I don't think they need to be hooked up to this, but we'll see. Alrighty, I'll catch you in a bit and show you this is the out part of it, and I'll show you the power out, and tomorrow I'll show you the power in. Alright, here it is the next day, and I'm gonna go for a charge on the battery. So I got my box of cables, and these things come in handy, and that gets plugged into this one here. There it is. That one goes in there. Shove it in there and give it a twist. Now this outlet is a maximum of 20 amps, and that might be, well, why limit yourself? This is the full power, 30 amps. It's kind of obvious why they do that, because you don't want to be running 30 amps through a circuit that is probably built for 15 or 20 amps. But in any case, do that and set this down. Unhook it. Plug it in. So we got that, and this is the backyard, more or less, and that's the office where we've got everything set up. Just happen to have a cat door here. Shove that wire in there, like that, and there's no load, so we'll go ahead and kick on the power, hit the choke, make sure the fuel is on, and hopefully it'll start on the first pull. And it did. And now we're on the other side of the cat door. There's the wire. And I've got the charger going. There we go. Got that. I'm gonna turn that on. Wait wait for the generator to load up. And the rod's right here. There we go. And hit the on boost. I kind of like to see 20 amps, but there we go. It could be because the battery's pretty charged. So anyhow, that is the way that we charge this thing. And at that, looks like it's pulling about 3.7 amps, and not sure if that's 300 watts or 30 watts. Notice it's 63 hertz also, which I need to get out there and adjust that. But there, how that goes. Oh, that gives the that's the charge cycle on that. And normally while we're charging, run back out here. Unload it, let it run for a second. I'm going to shut the fuel off and drain that out of the two different refrigerators that'll be cooling down when the generator's running, but I don't intend on running them off the battery. Any second now. There we go. Just die. Finally. Now we go to the final resting spot for the storage area. And I just happen to have a little spot here out in the backyard, out of the rain. There. I'll go get the cables and call this one done. So how do you know when your battery's fully charged? Well, you go by the voltage, but an idea there is down there in the lower right hand corner you see 671 watt hours, 672 now. And if I look at this other one down here, I see that I've got 666 watt hours is what I used, and that brought it down to 55.1 amp hours. It's a 100 amp hour battery, so That kind of sounds about right. So we'll let that guy go until the little green light comes on in the middle, and then hopefully it'll be about 14.7 volts. And I think topped off on this, according to the spec, is 14.1 to 15.0. So 14.7 sounds about right. As for the minimum voltage, I think I've got that set at 11.5. That might be a little low. That might be 12.01 is what it's supposed to be, but 11.5 I think is a good spot for what I'm using it for, emergency power. It ran the computer for 5 hours and 4 minutes, and I don't mean the little laptop here. I'm talking about that computer, and that pulls about 300 or 400 watts. So anyhow, we'll let that go, and I'll start working on putting all this stuff together and getting it posted on YouTube. I am going to put both of these in electronic boxes, and then I'm going to get rid of this crappy system here. I needed some way to turn them off and not run the batteries down, so that's what I came up with for a moment. I'd rather have a switch. So anyhow, that we'll see where that comes. The boxes should be here later today. Switches I've already got, and I'll see if I can put that on the end, and if it takes too long, and I'll just give it up and put it up as it is. And like I said, hard to move around, so I put some wheels on it like a dolly. That battery's heavy. So anyhow, we'll see how this all turns out, and talk to you later. Any comments, leave them below. Alright, one last update. I'm running the infrastructure, which includes all of that: the modem, the dish, the switches, and all that backup battery supply. But it's not running that machine. It's running that laptop and the infrastructure. And it's looks like about 18 amps, 17.6. Well, what I did was, as I said, rather than screwing around with the little clips on that, I went ahead and put some terminals on, hot melt glue down, and now I have a switch on the sides that turns those on and off. And I tied all the wires down, neatened everything up, put ring terminals or fork terminals on the shunts down there, tied that battery wire down. Nasty hot melt glue, but oh yeah, burned the crap out of my finger by laying it in that while I'm trying to do that. No, I don't ever do that with hot melt glue. All right, well, there it is, and catch you next time around. Comments, leave them below.